This episode of the Red Bull Rant is brought to you by the fine patrons that support us through patreon.com/Red Bull Rant. You can support us for the low price of $1 a month, and you can get exclusive content, including a monthly wrap-up for the New York Red Bulls. We want to send a special shout-out to our patrons who support us at $5 a month. That is our producer-level reward. Thank you to Jeremiah Dempster and William Martin. Now, on to the show.
The Red Bull Rant is a free-flowing podcast with three soccer-loving idiots who don't know when to shut their dumb potty mouths. So listener discretion, yeah, it's pretty much advised.
Welcome, my friends, to the show never ends. This is the Red Bull Rant podcast. I'm your host, Jason Iapicco.
I'm Pat McDonald.
I'm Truman, and this is episode 269, No Lock. This week doesn't deserve a yes. It doesn't deserve the yes.
I was going to say.
Deserves the no.
Yeah, so Red Bulls went to Philly for an Open Cup match and came away with a 2-1 loss. At least we escaped without any major injuries because there was a scare for a moment. They were Robles was down for a good few minutes. So thankfully that didn't happen. But out of the tournament, which some people will be happy about, some won't, but whatever.
Some person here will be happy.
All right, so likes, dislikes. Tribune, you can go first. What did you dislike about this one?
All right. I mean, I guess we'll discuss a little bit more, detail and afterthoughts, but my big dislike is it's nearly fucking impossible to watch the US Open Cup. And maybe that means I should be glad they're not in it anymore, because not being home, finding where to watch it, trying to watch it on my phone, you can't expand the screen to full screen. It's a joke. It's a joke that it's not on YouTube. It's just a joke that the way you try to watch this game is absolutely terrible. Pat, of course, he definitely talks about how you can't take this tournament seriously. I mean, the people who run it can't take the streaming seriously. And this was the issue last year, too. Well, that you couldn't, widescreen half the time.
It's because it's the same exact media player from last year.
Yeah,
it really baffles me. As someone who is a programmer, it really baffles me how you would want to make your own product when there is one readily available elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And you're giving your stuff away for free anyway. So why not go to the source that you can stream to, and it automatically backs it up and makes it available for replay?
Yeah, I think the video player they use, it's off of GeoCities.
Yes, I believe so.
When you use it to watch porn, all you can see is pixelated boobage.
Is GeoCities even a thing anymore? I thought it was done.
As is this the way to view these videos.
Yeah, as is the quality of these videos, indeed. Yeah.
Apparently, GeoCities is active in Japan still.
There you go.
So there you go. That's why it's such bad streaming. They're shooting it over to GeoCities in Japan and shooting it back to us to watch crappy videos.
Yep.
Am I supposed to say what I dislike?
Yeah.
I dislike that I just spent 2 seconds thinking of a dislike. I don't care.
I mean, no one's surprised. No one who listens to this podcast is surprised.
Yeah.
My dislike is Jesse Marsch, and as much as people were on him about the formation stuff, I want to talk about his comments after the game.
Okay.
And where he's complaining about schedule congestion, and I understand how it's not fair that we played on Saturday and then the rest of the Open Cup round was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. But that's the schedule. You have to deal with it.
Well, that's the schedule that Philly picked.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. What do you mean that Philly picked?
Philadelphia was able to choose playing this game on Saturday at home, and that's what they did.
When the fuck was that allowed?
I don't know, but that is what happened.
Okay, I did not realize that part of the thing. All right, the new dislike, the fact that a few years ago Philly cockblocked us on a friendly, and now they get to do this the exact opposite to us now.
Yeah.
To be fair, what's his name? Jesse Marsh did say he would have done the exact same thing.
Yeah.
He was in Philly's shoes.
Yeah.
Right, but so here's my question. When did that rule change? Because it used to be that you had to play on this specific date, and both teams had agreed to move it. And now it's just whenever that one team decides to get to play. When did that happen?
Who pays attention to the U.S. Open Cup schedule rules?
Yeah.
Not me.
I mean, obviously not me. I'm asking a question. So.
There's probably a few people out there who are like, Article 63-56D says.
Well, not to listen to this show.
No.
No,
I don't know. Man,
people that run like the cup.us or whatever it is.
I've got enough shit that I'm sure there might be a few people who listen to the show who know the rules inside and out.
You know, let's do this. If you listen to this show and you happen to know, and qualifier is preferably you knew this rule before Jesse Marsh made a big deal of it. I'm just curious. Just reach out to us and just like point us to the rule, because I'm curious if people actually know what the rule is on that. If they even know what in the rule book it is.
Right. I'm sure someone does.
Right, but I'm talking about like someone who kind of knew about it before all this went down.
Yeah, someone who I clearly just made fun of. Now reach out to us.
Yeah. You all suck. Could you guys let us know what's going on, please?
Hey, nerds!
All right.
Need help.
Time for likes. I want to go first. So I was at the game in Philly. Actually, you know what? That reminds me. I have no dislike. So traditionally, when the Red Bull supporters go to Philly, they get blocked into a specific area of the concourse, right? Because obviously, drunken people are idiots, and you don't want fights starting, right? That part is that's always happened, right? Well, that's fine, except when it's the Open Cup and you decide not to have more food options available. So literally, the only food option available was fried cheese.
If you want more food options, send more than 50 people to the game.
But here's the thing. They had the security barrier with an opening because presumably some Philly fans could get into those sections. All I asked was, hey, can I go to the Chicky and Pete stand that's right there? And they said, no, you can't go there.
Oh.
So that place sucks is what you're saying. It's a big pile of dog shit.
Yeah.
Shocking.
And then for some reason, I don't know why it mattered. This was the most ironic thing. So, and I understand the logic if there was more people in the stadium. So they made us all, if you had any kind of drink, whether it was soda, beer, whatever, if it came in a bottle or a can, you had to pour the contents into a plastic cup. Presumably so you're not throwing it, right? That's the logic. You're not throwing a bottle full of liquid because it can hurt somebody.
Sure.
But there was nobody around. Like, who are you going to hit?
Yeah, I saw the video.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, fine.
I think
safe people, but who you were going to hit?
I think Red Bulls fans had probably as many fans as Philly did that night.
I think we had more security guards than Philly had fans.
So, I mean, I hope Philly fans are not super gloating over that win because no one showed up.
Not even
players. All right.
Can't even have the Wednesday night excuse.
No. Nope.
All right. So, likes for the game, I'm going to go first. And this is part of me being there. As much as I was annoyed at what was happening on the field, there was somebody there that was much, much, much more annoyed than I was, and was at one point jumped out of their seat and screamed for a good 30 seconds straight about Jesse Marsh and him not getting tactics right. And I just sat there and laughed, and I worked up. And I don't get me wrong, like I got worked up at points, but this guy is like,
he was slightly upset. He was mildly upset.
Sure, we'll go with mildly upset.
It took Larico around with the 100 people in attendance and said, "This is an important game. I should let him know how angry I am."
I just found it amusing of how worked up he was.
Well, let me give you my big like, and that is Asbury Park was awesome that day. That's all I'm saying. I got to go watch, in quotes, a team that's still undefeated in field play, and that's Asbury Park FC. We had an awesome day watching the World Cup. You could play a little FIFA soccer on the old PlayStation, get some merch, watch some bands. Way better time than watching a Open Cup crap game.
I like that I get to hang out with my buddy Joe and watch Phil Mickelson lose his fucking mind on hole 13 in the U.S. Open.
You watched golf.
Yeah, I did. On one phone, and then I put the Open Cup on another phone, and as you said, it did not go full screen. And I was just like, this clearly does not warrant my attention. And I like that I don't have to talk about it again this year.
That is true. You're catching a big break.
Yeah.
So I have to go back to my like one more time, only because, so you know at the World Cup how they always zoom in on the fans, the team that's losing. It's like become a thing, right? Where whatever team's losing, they have to find some fan that's like
that's a sports thing, of course. Yeah. Classic sports.
But it's more prevalent at the World Cup because it's more 50-50 base, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like we needed a shot of that guy because at times he almost reminded me. I think at times he was worse than those people you would see that they get caught on camera. I
don't necessarily think they show angry, like belligerently angry people.
Oh no, there was one time where he was just like dejected in his seat. I think it was after goal number 2, and he was just sitting there like, "What the hell?"
Yeah. For you people who take this thing so seriously, I'm sorry, can't understand it. I just can't understand.
I mean, can we really say? Okay. I say this knowing that that you don't care about the Open Cup, but we do a podcast about this team, so at some point we're part of that group, right?
Yeah, yeah. I am for MLS Cup, the trophy that matters.
Oh, so you're saying specifically Open Cup? Okay,
yeah.
But don't forget, Open Cup is the easiest way to Champions League.
I don't care. Everybody wants to win it because they think it's another trophy that people are going to give a shit about, and they're not. And not the only thing that's going to exercise the demons is MLS. I'm a broken record. I'm saying this fucking again. The only thing that's going to exercise the demons is MLS Cup. You play starters for the Open Cup. There are people out there who think you can play 46 games and you're not going to have tired legs at the end of the season, and they're out of their fucking minds. I can't take the thing seriously. I can't.
I can.
I cried better in my commercial.
So, by the way, speaking of CONCACAF, do you guys know how to actually qualify for next year's?
Is it just the 2 trophies?
So there's 3 spots:
Open Cup, MLS Cup,
and
Supporter Shield.
No, Supporter Shield is technically off the list this year because we're only getting 2 bids because of how they're reorganizing the tournament.
I know. Open Cup, MLS Cup, and B Atlanta.
No, but although I guess to make it this way, you'd have to do it. So because Toronto won MLS Cup last year, and they can't qualify as an American club, right? Because they have to go through the Canadian Amway Championship, whatever it's called.
Yeah, the 2-game tournament, or whatever the hell, the pile of trash.
So apparently they decided that the 3rd spot for this year is going to be decided based on a 2-year aggregate of MLS play. So basically, whoever wins the quote Supporter Shield for the 2-year period of last year and this year gets in. Yes, I know.
Oh my God, they don't see me rubbing my head. That is insane.
This is the last year. It's like all cuckoo because they're trying to be caught up.
Yeah, this is the last year, and then they're going to fix it.
Yeah.
Which is because Toronto won. It fucks everything over.
Yeah.
Good job, Canada. Way to go.
Yep. Run up again. Just kick them out of the league. It's fine.
Done with Canada.
Josie Altidore still screwed it up for Americans.
What else is new? That's what he does.
All right. Let's move on. We have the game. Oh, afterthoughts. Do we even have any?
Yeah, I do. I do just really quickly, actually, about the game, since we didn't talk about it at all.
Well, I mean, don't really want to.
No, just real quick. I mean, you saw a team that was tired. That's what you saw. You can only play so many games with that kind of schedule congestion, and playing on a Saturday, that's what happens. And you tried to run out a few starters that were also tired. You're missing a couple guys. You bring in Bradley Ray Phillips and he scores. But it's kind of too late. You're already down by a goal. So that's all I'm really going to say. It's just kind of a bummer. Also, I never looked into it, and I'm sure everyone else did, but I don't know. I'm busy this week. What happened to Ryan Mears starting?
Yeah, I was going to mention that because on the 15th, Jesse said literally the day before, he goes, yeah, Mears going to start all the games. And then Robles gets run out.
So what happened?
I don't know.
That was never answered? Does anyone know?
Maybe he wrote a few swastikas on like the bathroom walls at the training center or something. They're like, come on, grow up, Ryan.
Yeah, honestly, I have no idea because I haven't seen the news, and I honestly been kind of heading to work this week, so it's not like
also, what happened is it was an Open Cup game. As soon as they lost, we were like, whatever. So I don't know. Thought that was very unusual.
Yeah.
He must have picked up a knock just before the game or something.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
All right, yeah.
Get the hell out of
Cup
Town.
So this coming Saturday, June 23rd, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, the Red Bulls will be hosting FC Dallas. And if you're wondering why it's 6 p.m., it's because the game's on Unimas. Unimas! Which means if you have ESPN Plus, you're probably not going to get it at all, ever.
Cool.
So you better hope you watch it live.
Guess I'll have to go.
Or find a totally legal stream.
Well, I'm talking about for someone that can't watch it live. I might not be able to. And now I'm going to see if YouTube TV has Unimas.
I think maybe you should just reprioritize.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry. Stupid me wanting to have a life.
You need to go get another crappy cable network again. That, only carries 15 channels. Make sure one of them's Unimas.
Mm-hmm.
Also, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't it fireworks night?
At Red Bull Arena?
Yeah.
It might be. Hold on. I actually got an email.
I think it is.
It is fireworks night.
We're going to get some 8 p.m. fireworks?
Where it's not even, it's like dusk.
Oh, boy.
Yay.
They might get rained out. The fireworks might get rained out.
Well, then, aren't they just like the things they set off that pretty much go no further than the roof?
Yeah.
No, but it's a good show.
Saturday. So it is projected to rain on Saturday, and Google is saying at 8:00 it is raining.
Cool. Good. Great. Cancel fireworks, everybody. No one come. Oh, I'm coming for the Red Bull shades. That's what I'm going for.
Ooh.
They're giving out shades.
Sweet. I need some of those.
Yeah.
Prediction?
That's right. I'm sorry. I was trying to find a game for myself. So I got to go first since I'm in the lead for predictions. And by the way, so I didn't read this off. Dallas's record is 8-1-5 this year. 3-1-1 on the road. 29 points total plus 10 goal difference. Their last 5 is a draw and then 4 wins in a row.
They good. They good
Yes,
team.
They're good.
They play sport well.
Mm-hmm.
So I am going. Actually, did they play midweek? Because I'm not sure. That might influence my predictions. I want to make sure I get. They played last Saturday, so they're also a week like we are. The only advantage is they had to travel to Kansas City, so most likely they traveled there back to Dallas and then to us. I'm gonna say 2-2 draw though, because I feel like having a really good Dallas team come in, given what happened last Saturday, as much as it wasn't a full set of starters, I feel like that's a little bit going to weigh in on people's minds, so I'm just going to go 2-2 because I feel like we're not there just yet. We should be. Honestly, this is a game we should be able to squeak out a 2-1 victory and be happy, but I feel like it's just not there yet. So I'm saying 2-2 draw.
I'm going with a 1-0 win. I think the Red Bulls are going to kind of play it tight early on in the game, just hope for one goal and then try to close up shop afterwards. Again, Dallas is very good. You just pointed out the +10 goal differential, which is outstanding. Their outstanding road form so far. I think it's just the way the Red Bulls going to have to play. I'm sure they're still going to be slightly tired. They're still going to be down a couple players. I'm okay with them packing it in the first half and just getting that one turnover and scoring and then just playing defense for several minutes.
I'm not expecting the best of games, but I am expecting a win. I'm going to say 2-1 win. Red Bulls, actually at this point, will only be missing Murillo out wide, and we already know that Ethan Cutler is 1,000 times better based on one game. So, it'll be – I think they'll be competitive, and I think might not be the prettiest. And FC Dallas will certainly give them a test, but I do see them coming out with a win. So 2-1 win.
All right, there you go.
My prediction, I think one of us is going to get this on the nose.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be one of those weeks.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right.
Jay is not convinced.
I mean, I don't know what to think with this team anymore, so.
They're good. They're good at home. Don't get crazy. Let's not get nuts here. They're still a really good team. They're missing a couple of good defenders, but
no.
They're good.
But they're playing a really good team this week. That's the thing. That's
okay. Well, they're home. It's all right. They're the home team. I'm going to give the advantage to the home team.
They beat NYCFC at home, which I know we like to pretend they're trash ass, but they're pretty good.
If we could beat NYC at their building, then that'll be a lot different because they're undefeated at home.
Well, that's because they haven't played us yet. Just saying.
Yeah. All right. New York Red Bulls 2 had 2 games since we last spoke. 3-0 loss at the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, and then followed up with a 2-2 draw at Bethlehem Steel yesterday.
Hold on. Now, let's not walk over that one real quick.
Go ahead.
They had a 2-0 lead and blew it, I think, in the final 4 minutes of the game.
Ooh, that sucks.
Yes. So, and the last one they gave up in stoppage time.
That's really annoying that both Bethlehem Steel games have been on Wednesday nights.
At 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yep.
What the hell?
Yep.
Doesn't that we talked about this last time? Doesn't that field have lights?
No.
Okay, well that's why it's 5, but it's still stupid to put it on Wednesday then.
Yes, you are correct.
All right. Sky Blue FC, shocker, still has not won a game. 3-2 loss. So hey, they scored goals at least.
Cool.
They lost at Orlando Pride. The next game is not until next week on Wednesday, the 27th of June. They'll be traveling out to Portland to take on the Thorns. All right. Time for Dumping Ground. I have nothing. So you guys go ahead.
Pat, I believe, is going first.
Solanda Donovan's a little bitch. Come on, this Mexico bullshit. And the best part about it, he tries to make it political. Dude, you took a payday. Let's not lie to ourselves and say it's because we need to show support for it. You took a payday. And like Taylor Twellman said on ESPN, if you just came out and said, I get paid money, a lot of us would forgive you. I wouldn't. You never root for Mexico if you're a USA fan. If you're Mexican-American, sure, I can see some wiggle room there.
Especially if you're a player, right?
He was the U.S. team captain.
And he's the U.S. team captain with some really spectacular moments. I believe he's been hit with pee in Estadio Azteca before. I think he's mentioned that. And somehow he's rooting for it's only because you're taking a payday. You took some money. That's it. cut the bullshit, and especially taking on Carlos Bocanegra. Fuck off, pisses me off. Americans don't root for Mexico.
He not only did he take money to do that. Oh, that commercial is so infuriating.
Yeah,
I didn't even bother watching. Honestly,
it is so infuriating. Not only does he do that, it's for Wells Fargo.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No. Wells Fargo.
Everything that Asians went through.
Maybe what happened is that Wells Fargo opened a fake account under Landon Donovan, and it was like Mexican and not American. And he's like, "Oh, I should probably do this commercial. It's got to be me. I mean, there's my account, and my name right there. It's got to be my account."
Hey, that is my signature. I guess I'm obligated to be here.
It has to be me.
They bankrupted him, and they were like, "Well, Mr. Donovan, would you like your money back? If so, what did you do a commercial for us?"
Actually, not even that. They threatened bankruptcy, and then after they did the commercials, like, "Oh, sorry, your account's not actually with us.
You're with TD Bank." No.
Yeah, just
It's bush league.
It is. It really is. And I also like that Kobe Jones ripped them too.
Oh, they all did.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if there's a single player that was like. I mean, Hurt Gomez, who's covers League MX and all that good stuff. He was like, "Fuck you." Like, are you serious? So I mean, come on, dude. I mean, he does this shit. He does this shit every so often. He comes out and says something dumb. This is just another example.
But he did a commercial.
Yeah.
This isn't even like a statement. This is like full on a-hole move.
Yeah. And I know there are some people who try to rope Alexi Lawless into this because he may have worn a Mexico jersey in a commercial for Fox Sports. Fox Sports pays his paycheck,
Right.
And Fox Sports, with USA out, has to go to the next biggest fan base in this country, which is still Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Then they have to sell games. So
And
far different situation.
And I was going to say, more importantly, Alexi Lawless has also been removed from the national team for years now.
Yeah.
Donovan's only been out for he was on the team last cycle, right? Like, he was in the last World Cup, right? So
No,
he wasn't. Okay,
that was the big scandal. He got left home.
But it was like right before, so it's not even like he hasn't even hit 5 years technically, right? Like, it was right before the World Cup he got dropped. So
yeah.
So like, he's not even 5 years removed from playing. Actually, and he played his last game after that. So he, it's not even like he hadn't played for the national team recently. At least Lawless has some years behind him, and it's clear that Lawless is for the paycheck because he's been working for Fox for years.
Right. And he also wasn't just the U.S. national team captain.
And Lawless also didn't go after people that called him on his shit.
I mean,
and Lawless also lets God bless him, not in the conversation for greatest U.S. men's national team player of all time.
Right.
And Landon Donovan is, at least until Pulisic as long as he keeps going the way he's going, dethrones him.
And then Tyler Adams dethrones him, right?
Yep, Tyler Adams and Ben Mines dethrones
Ben Mines.
Tyler Adams.
Yep.
You guys are missing somebody here.
Who's that?
Sean Davis.
Oh yeah, the king.
Forgot about Sean Davis. He is the king.
The king of sport.
So it's weird. I feel like with this Landon Donovan thing, it almost feels like he's the former national team player who's had like the worst fall or the worst drop off after leaving the national team in terms of just his public stock.
I mean, as an analyst, he's boring. I mean, he's very, he's not very excitable. So I think, you could say he's dropped, but unless he was an idiot, he's got money, you'd assume. Then again, I don't know. He came out of retirement to sit on the bench, Club Leon. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. All right, let's move on because enough talking about that jerk off.
Yeah.
The World Cup, not exciting. Boring. I think one day there was 3 1-0 wins. Except for something I'm going to get to in my next segment. But I don't know. This game, the Cup so far is just, it's lacked a lot of excitement. There has been that many exciting games except for the England's first game
Spain, Portugal.
Yeah, Spain, Portugal. Aside from that, just it's been like a festival of one nothing and 1-1. And
There's some unexpected exciting stuff. Like I think it was France Australia was better than it probably should have been.
Yeah, and I mean Mexico upsetting Germany. But
Iceland
drawing Argentina.
Yeah, throwing them off their game, obviously, after today's 3-0 loss.
Jesus, yeah.
Which is my terrible team of the week. Thank you very much. I'm going to throw it in there right now. Hilariously brutal. I'm going to get back to World Cup, but let's throw that in now. Losing 3-0 to Croatia. I feel like this is a Croatia having a kind of sort of home field advantage. And I think if this game was again played in Brazil, it would have been a different situation.
See, but from what I saw,
I really do.
But from what I saw during the pregame, I feel like Argentina had more fans in there.
But I mean, like the travel is very light for Croatia.
That's true.
You know, they probably rode a bunch of bicycles to the stadium.
Yeah, because that's a thing in Eastern Europe.
Just didn't have to travel that far. But I'm going to give you some insider information if you're ready. It's the most insider information I can possibly give you.
Oh boy.
I have a coworker who is from Argentina. All right. This is how far as I go. And her suggestion was to get Messi off that team.
Alrighty then.
Well, I mean, this is his last World Cup anyway, right? So.
Yep. She feels that once he is gone, then that ball will get spread around and not every ball get fed to one man.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Everything. So there you go. There's my insider.
Yeah, I want to say after this World Cup performance, welcome to MLS, Leo Messi. At this point, why not?
I was gonna say, in fairness, like the 3-0 scoreline was more indicative of the defense than anything he did. I mean, he wasn't great in this game, but if you haven't seen the first goal in that game, go find a clip of it. It's horrendous, and it has nothing to do with anybody but the goalie.
But again, I mean, don't downplay Messi because look at
I'm not. But
look at the first game.
Yeah,
he missed that penalty. That's just.
Although I have seen the LeBron J.R. Smith meme where somebody replaced LeBron's face with Messi and J.R. Smith with just the Argentine crest. So, I mean, I don't know. In terms of the World Cup being boring, there have been some stinkers in there. There have been some games where I'm like, I don't care, like, at all. But I don't know. There have been some good ones. I mean, yesterday I watched Iran, Spain at Derby Road, and I found myself rooting for Iran with every, like, near miss they had. I mean, our great enemy, Iran. World Cup does strange things to people. It makes you root for which teams you can expect.
Which I didn't realize this, but apparently I think they're the top team out of Asia right now.
I don't know.
Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of surprising. I think the reason the World Cup isn't as exciting is because of just how teams got drawn into groups, right? It doesn't feel like there's any real group of death this year.
And like the most dominant team, it's bullshit. There's no fucking way Russia's that good.
No.
Yeah, something's up with that group. But, I mean, there's no real group of death. Like, the only real major game that we would see in the group stage is Spain-Portugal, and we've already seen it.
Right.
If that was like the last game of the group, I think that would have been much different than the first game, because then you have actually advancing on the line, possibly anyway.
And look, let's face it. I mean, you don't want to take anything away from the teams that made the World Cup, but.
No, but just there's no like sexy matchups though.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, like my saying, like this would have been better if Italy was in it, if the Dutch were in it, if the United States was in it.
Yep.
It'd be more interesting. But
there's also and this is another thing I've noticed too, and it's just maybe us being old men. We don't. A lot of the stars that we've watched play in the past couple World Cups they're just not there anymore.
Yeah,
mm-hmm. It's a lot of new guys, which I kind of like. I mean. If you watch the England game, that is just young kids ahoy.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking for cranky old John Terry and all these other guys out there. You're like, oh, those players are clearly, they're old. They're not around anymore. And it's weird. It's a very weird feeling. I think that's part of it too, is unless you're like a diehard fan, aside from Ronaldo and Messi, there's not a ton of big names.
Yeah.
And then again, the weird times, the latest game's 2:00.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's tough. I mean, not everyone wants to wake up for an 8 a.m. game unless you're a hardcore fan of that team.
Yeah, I'm almost never watching an 8 a.m. game. But,
right.
and then, the fun teams, I'd say the most fun team to watch right now is Iceland, obviously. I mean, they were fun to watch in Euro 2016.
Mm-hmm.
But, in terms of, relating to the players, I mean, it's hard to relate to a player's name whose name is, Bjorn Lagerschlagerhagen. And you're like, how did I even say that right? I don't even know. There's so many consonants. Where's the vowels?
And one of the best players in the World Cup, unfortunately plays for Egypt.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
It's just him, Yeah. So again, it's like you would love to point out a big star, but they're gone. They're eliminated. Because he's the only one who scored a goal, and it was on a penalty.
I mean, I suppose if you want your story, even though I'm not let me preface this. I'm a fan of his ability, absolutely, but I'm not a fan of the guy, Ronaldo. I mean, the story of Ronaldo is certainly an interesting one. 4 goals in 2 games, carrying Portugal on his back. And to a certain extent, I mean, he's the anti-Messi. I mean, Messi, they're both in very similar situations. They clearly both, had leaps and bounds better than the rest of their team. Ronaldo so far has been able to put Portugal on his back. Messi not so much. There's your story, but I think there's a lot of flaws with this World Cup. I haven't seen ratings yet. I'm kind of curious as to what they are, but
they can't be great so far.
They can't be great. Yeah,
not at those times.
I was gonna say the first game being 8 a.m. It's just like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like this is the first time that they've done 3 group games on the same day.
No.
They've done that for some reason. I thought it was always 2 group games.
You can't because then it would go on forever.
Yeah. I remember going. I remember in 2010 going to Darcy Stavern and getting there for the 8 a.m. game, and then there's whatever game was next, and then the USA was on later that day.
How about the fact if you live in the West Coast?
Oof, forget about it.
Mm. That's rough. What's your latest game's 11 a.m.?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's bad. So ratings have to. They're going to be what they're going to be just because of time wise, and it's not going to be any better at the next World Cup.
No, it's going to be roughly the same.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, they might assuming the U.S. makes it, they might shift it a little bit for because of ratings for that matter. Because I mean,
well, the other thing is because the next one's getting moved to the winter, they could shift the games up in the day. Save more sunlight.
I don't think they're going to worry about sunlight in stadiums. I don't think that's a concern.
Well, I was thinking how cold it can get in. Well, okay, I don't know how much of a desert Qatar is, but
it's a desert.
It's but
pretty sandy.
It can get cold at night, right? So
it can get cold at night in the desert. Yes.
So you move the games up to counteract the fact that you're playing in December. So you get more warmer weather for the players, which would naturally benefit us because then that means. Actually, no, that will hurt us. Never mind. I'm going in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would actually make it worse. Then never mind. Yeah, I'm looking at the schedule right now, and there's not many games I want to watch.
There's it. Yeah, it's always like
Germany, Sweden. I might watch, but. I think until
a lot of it's like just team against team burp.
The England's last game, which for some reason I can't even see it on the schedule right now. I don't know why.
Well, they played Tunisia was the first game,
right? But they're playing Panama next.
Cool.
Watch Murillo and Escobar become sacrifices to the English Lord.
It's just weird. It's not showing me the group. Google's not going past Thursday, Wednesday. Or
They
Thursday.
don't want you to know.
Yeah, they're like, no, you don't want to know how bad it's going to be.
Pay no
You
attention.
don't want to see.
But so they have Belgium in their last game, so that might be good. But I think those are the only two games I'm really maybe Iceland I'll follow because it's a good story. But
I'm going to Derby Road to watch them tomorrow with against Nargio or some friends. So I wish I could find an Iceland T-shirt to buy.
Group H is Japan, Senegal, Poland, and Colombia. None of those matchups sound appealing to me.
Go Japan.
I would like to go to Colombia. I would like to go to Elizabeth and go watch a Colombian game from there because they have a nice big little Colombian section in Elizabeth. I think it'd be fun. Actually, the empanada provider for Red Bull Arena is from Elizabeth. They followed us on Twitter. I'll give them a quick shout out. Their name is, I hope I'm saying this wrong, Brisas, and they are located on 262 Morris Ave in Elizabeth.
Woo.
So, if you want to get some empanadas not in Red Bull Arena, go check them out. Although, I'm assuming they're good. Never mind. I'm not even going to say anything.
So, this is completely random now. So, at Annalise Bender on Twitter, just because I saw this just come up on my timeline, said, RBNY fans, check your outrage. And it's a retweet of a Wells Fargo meet and greet for Tyler Adams on Monday.
They still stink. It's still Wells Fargo. I don't care.
But, I mean, at least you know he's getting paid to be there.
Sure.
And plus,
that kid needs money, and he's not the national team captain.
Plus, MLS players do have to make a certain number of appearances per contract. So
I'll get mad when he shows up in a DC United jersey shelling for Wells Fargo. So
He goes full Rafa.
yeah. All right, real quick, my last note here. Sunday, I'm again making the trip. I think Pat is probably down to Asbury Park Yacht Club for Asbury Park FC's event, Soccer Watch, because 3 Red Bulls players are going to be down there, and that Red Bull video game guy is going to be down there too. So, yeah, so that's going to be fun. So definitely going to be down there hanging out, watching some action.
Yeah. I won't be there till later, but I'm going to try and leave right after work and get there. And then I figure I can work afterwards where it's more money to work down the shore, Ubering. That's right.
Yeah, and parking is a real treat.
Oh, that sounds not great.
It's a real hoot, let me tell you. Last Saturday was fun. We lucked out and got a great spot, but it's something else. Pray for a slightly dismal day. Slightly.
all right, so is that it?
That's all I got.
All right, let's wrap up. You can visit us at patreon.com/Red Bull Rant. That's patreon.com/Red Bull Rant. $1 a month's all you need for the exclusive content there and help us support the show. Red Bull Rant at gmail.com if you want to email us during the week. 973-348-5329 is the voicemail. Facebook.com/Red Bull Rant. At Red Bull Rant for the show, at Dr. Stooch myself, at PMAC, 2 for Pat, at The Truman for Truman. Subscribe to the show via iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play Music, SoundCloud, pretty much anywhere you can find a podcast. Last words before we get out of here.
Time for the Red Bulls to get off the schneid. Don't worry about what happened in Chester. Just wash that toxic waste off your bodies. Come on out on what should be a terrible fireworks night and win.
Yeah, it's Red Bulls get out there and win, and Russia and Mexico help you both fall flat on your faces here on out.
Yes.
Never Mexico.
That's right, landed cakes.
All right. So for Pat, Truman, and myself, this has been episode number 269 of the Red Bull Rant. Thank you guys for tuning in, and as always, go Red Bulls.
Peace out.
Lates.